As we thank the Lord, you know it's going down. Fill up cups like the grill and trust the Lord is all around. Ain't ready to turn up on Sunday. Ain't turn up on Sunday. As we thank the Lord, you know it's going down. Fill up cups like the grill and trust the Lord is all around. Ain't ready to turn up on Sunday. We gon' turn up on Sunday.
I'ma celebrate it like it's God's plan. Sipping down like an odds man. I'm an odd man. What's the odds, man? If it ain't your boy, then it's God then. Certified sin, we bonafide men. Birth to death because we all in. With that white star, with that Don P, with a day bar, with a rooftop, letter shades all in the back top. Hit it beat, go
ahead, fresh share, fellas.
With a blue tint, into the
already have
and these district thugs to make a lane drop. We don't bounce around, we in the same spot, screaming uptown and then the cane pop.
As we thank the Lord, you know it's going down. Fill up cups like this grill and trust the Lord is all around. Ain't ready to turn up on Sunday.
And we in the same spot, screaming uptown and then the cane pop.
We gonna turn up on Sunday. As we thank the Lord, you know it's going down.
What's up, good people? It is your boy, Bruh Troy, back again with the bro code. Look, fellas, all I know, it is hotter than two muskrats making love in a wool sock. Good Lord, it's hot. So I hope all the viewers and everybody out there is keeping cool. I know me and the family had to go outside and show the kids what Super Soakers was all about until Mother Nature did its thing and down came the rain. But you know what happened next? Then the steam came off the ground, so the muskrats was out yet again. So welcome to the Bro Code Show. Tonight we laid back, man. It's all about the bros. We'll be chopping up, taking questions and comments from our viewers. So please, if it's on your mind, holler at us. Get in the chat now. Whether you have smart comments, thoughtful quotes, whatever the case may be, we want to hear from our viewers tonight. We waiting on my. Oh, there he is. He's late to the party. We know we're gonna joke on Mr. Kingdom moves in a minute. Mr. I'm late, sir. But anyway,
I was here.
Yeah. I hear you. We gotta get a part 2-1. He don't have his shirt on, and he not at the crib. But we gonna joke on him later, man. So welcome to the Bro Code Show. We're gonna be chopping it up tonight with the bros, man. Again, please go in the comment section. Give me all the smart comments, thoughtful quotes. I love you. Any of that, man. If it's on your mind, holler at us, okay? If you don't want to use the comment section, you can text us too. Look at the bottom of the screen. We got our text message feed 919-714-9905. So if you need that number again, just pay attention to the bottom of the screen. So we introduce to some and we present to others. What the Bro Code Show is, it's a live talk show created to discuss, uncover, justify, and dismantle the issues that concern us most as brothers, as family, and as a community. And how we give it to them, fellas? Raw, uncut, and real respectful. So for those that don't know, man, we call ourselves the Bro Code Show, and oftentimes the Bro Code could be looked at as a friendship etiquette or some type of standards that men follow, right? Around here, a bro is a loyal, confident, stand-up guy and someone that comes in all shapes, sizes, colors, and creeds. No, we don't discriminate, but our greatest desire is to embrace everybody in positive, popular conversation. Not in the business of bashing, belittling, or shaming, but we do believe in being comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations because we believe that's where understanding starts. So as grandma would say, let's chew the meat and spit out the bone. So, hey, for all our viewers, we appreciate y'all. Y'all are what make it happen with our sponsors and our viewers. You guys are dope. A couple weeks back, we had a whole bunch of y'all tune into the the talk series, unpacking that thing called the talk, the conversation that we have with our children, and we really appreciate you guys. So, while you're watching this, do me a favor, man. Take that thumb, that right one, go over to the left, there's a like button. Bam, tap on that thing just like that. Then go over to the right side of the screen. There's a share button. Bam, pop on that. Like and share this post now. Trust me, it'll pay off later. Last week we gave away a t-shirt. This week we're going to be giving away food. We got some sponsors that really looked out, and we want to make sure we pass on those blessings to our viewers because y'all are dope. Please go to the YouTube page. For y'all that don't know, we're on YM4C TV. Look at the bottom of the screen right there. There it is, YM4C TV. If you get there, I need you to do two things. Take that right, subscribe, then go to the right. There's a little bell. Click the bell so that way when we go live, you know it. So please leave comments, questions, and shout outs in the comment section during the show. We'll shout you guys out. It's all about the bros tonight. So we're an open book. So ladies, you got some sexy men on the line. If you got some questions, fellas, mentors, anybody out there that needs somebody who's energetic, does real things for real people that's in the community like, whoa, holler at us. Please leave your questions, comments. We would love to hear your thoughts, not just about this show, but people shows. What are some things you want these four fine looking gentlemen to talk about? So with that being said, man, we'll be doing a drawing at the end of the show for the chance to win. Tonight we're giving away City Barbecue. So shout out to our sponsor, City Barbecue, that looked out for YM4C and the Bro Code Show. We're going to be giving away what's called the City Sampler. Okay, on that City Sampler, it has some of everything. You can get some ribs, some turkey, some brisket, and even some of that thick toast with the butter on it, that Texas toast. So tonight, like and share this post. We'll be doing a trivia game show. You'll answer the trivia question in the comment section, and then that way you can win this City Barbecue. City Barbecue Sampler, man. Shout out to City Barbecue. You can get that in Garner, Raleigh, Durham, and also in Cary, man. We love you. I appreciate that. So remember, like and share this post. And if you really don't, you can use that hashtag called the Bro Code Show. What up? Big homies in the building. You know we had to put you in for the intro. What up, Grateful? Hey, yo, this dude right here is doing big things, man. What is it? Make sure you put it in the comments, Grateful. Is that what's that called? The drone. The drone business you're doing, man. This dude is doing big things. He's giving the proceeds back to an organization to continue to teach and mentor young people how to fly those drones because you know that's a big deal coming into this generation, man. So shout out to Grateful, man. Peace to you, brother. So I think I've said enough, man. Let's introduce the bros, man. Who we got here, man? I think we got my man, Mr. Motivation. We gonna pick on you first, man, because one, you ain't got your t-shirt on. Two, you looking like homeless really in the car with some headphones on. So I'm gonna pick on you first, man. What's going on, bro? Tell the people who you are, man, a little bit about yourself, and we'll keep on picking on you later.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Arthur Mitchell, aka Mr. I Am in the building. I'm in the car today, man. Forgot my laptop, shirt and everything. I'm still here with the bros, man, representing, man. I'm here, man. Everybody, when we're here, gonna rehash, we're gonna grow, we're gonna make things happen tonight, man. So stay tuned. Put that seatbelts on when I take off for a ride.
Taking it for a ride. Let's get it. So another part of the host team, man. He switched names like y'all switched draws and telephone numbers. But he used to be Mr. Whatever It Takes. Now he is Mr. You Matter. Oh, he done banked out on. See?
Oh, man.
He got mad at me. He just went on. He just bumped out on me. So I see that's how we go. This is how that night's going to be. So this is how tonight is going to go. Y'all see that already. So we're going to keep it moving, man. We got my man, Mr. Kingdom Moves. He's doing so much. He just flew in from London. We appreciate you coming on and showing the blessings, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, bro.
Now, I won't say London, but I did just get back from the
mountains. We're speaking into existence, brother. We're speaking it.
It may happen next year if COVID allows us to get back out there, but fresh, right back in the driveway from the trip to Asheville. But Brother Smith, John, JC, however any of you all know me, I'm all about trying to do a number of moves to build my kingdom and help others get to theirs. But I'm excited for the conversation. You know, I have a number of things that have happened that I've seen that I've been wanting to kind of get out there since the last time we talked. So I'm eager to get things going.
Indeed, man. So before Mr. AKA comes on back on the line, we're going to joke on him too, man, for bugging out on us. But for those that are just tuning in, man, you live and direct with the Bro Code Show. It's all about the fellas tonight. We kicking it just the four of us, man. So for anybody out there has questions for any one of us, it could be whatever. Doesn't matter what it is. We're going to keep it live and uncut, man. So please put that in the comment section, or you can text us at the number on the bottom of the screen, 919-714-9905. So, JC, I think you up next, bro.
Well, you know, a number of things have happened. Give me 1 second. So really, I just want us to go around the horn, you know, and share something with our audience about what's happened that's been positive and noteworthy. You know, with so much stuff in the news about pandemics and, you know, people dying here and people getting hurt here. And, you know, it's been a lot to consume. And so I just want, I'll start. You know, I like I said, I just took a trip to the mountains, and before I got 45 minutes down the road, I hear something that's happening to my tire, and God willing, it allowed me to pull over safely without my tire popping. This was on Friday. I come out the car and I notice that there is a string that's loose on my tire, and I was close to a station, but about 12 miles away. I got there and the guy tells me, you know, had you driven another 5-10 miles, your tire might have popped. And like I said, I'm headed to the mountains where it was expected to be a rainy weekend. Everybody would have been closed on Saturday and Sunday, to where had that happened when I'm going around curves doing 70, 80 miles an hour, I could have very well flown off of the mountain to my death. And I look at it as a way of God showing himself once more to protect me, to look out for me. It was an opportunity. I already knew I had to change my tires. I was just kind of pushing it off for as much as I possibly could before I absolutely had to get it done. But the Lord said, you know what? Nah, man, go ahead and pull over. Go ahead and get this done now. You'll thank me later. And you know, I look at that as one of God's many signs that He's still here working throughout the pandemic, throughout the craziness. So that's my little bit of noteworthiness, because like I said, I could have been dead and gone and not having an opportunity to talk. And so that's my little mini testimony for this weekend. But
go ahead, sir. We're gonna pass the offering plate, sir. Yes, indeed. Hallelujah. But you're absolutely right, man. He make us lie down in green pastures, man. I think oftentimes he talks, we just don't listen, and it's the subtleties, and really being in fine tune, man. So that's really dope, man. Tell me something positive, Mr. Motivation in the car with your headphones on.
Well, me, man, it's funny you said something about tires, JC. I was on in-laws' house this weekend, and I took my car to Meineke. You know, we go to Meineke, man, it tell you everything is wrong. And we charge you $1,000. And I find out, and I went there for a simple oil change, but I ended up telling me my tires. So I had 2 tires. He like, man, if you go any farther, the tires will pop. The wires were showing, so I got them done. Now, needless to say, I wouldn't pay $29. Ended up paying a lot more money. But you know, got it done, man. It just came out with my in-laws. We haven't seen my in-laws in a while. Kind of here for the 4th of July cookout, and just chilled out, man. Just had a little family time, and forgot to bring my stuff with me, man, for the show, but I'm still here in the car, representing the bro code all day. However, other than that, man, that's enough. That's what I did this weekend.
Well, no, we're not gonna let you live it down, man. You know, hey, you got an hour your way, brother. You better believe it's slick. But yeah, man. You know, we got my man Genius Jones, man. Genius Jones. You know, he had to tell you, good story, JC. Very well spoken. He said he wanted me to give you a hand clap for that one. All right. We got my man Random Rowe in the building. What up, Rowe? We love you, bro. Love always wins, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Very excited to be part of everything that we're doing, man. These 2 brothers, Sherrod and Genius, and my man Random Road, aka the Gents Life, aka TGL, aka what he don't do. He got more jobs than a little bit, man. But certainly, man, we encourage each other, man. We motivate each other, man. Shout out to you, brothers. So we're waiting on Kurt, man. So I guess I'll go, man. So this last week has been a roller coaster, bro. You know, obviously with personal emotions, and I know for me, I consider myself purpose driven rather than career driven, and really just trying to continue to shape and mold what God has given us. So also have an anniversary coming up, man. So on the 21st of this month, it'll be 8 years, bro. I still can't believe she's been putting up with me for 8 years, but it'll be 8 years, man. So really trying to find a creative way. There he is. We're gonna joke on him too. Just really trying to find a creative way to celebrate my wife, man. I'm appreciative that I've said he find for wife, find for good thing, man. And I can't honestly say that I've always treated it that way. If I could really be transparent, fellas, because of selfish reasons, maybe not really taking into consideration that it's not just about me anymore. I'm really thankful and appreciative in the place that I'm at in my marriage, and being able to celebrate 8 years may not be much for some. We look forward to more, but I'm appreciative, man. I really am. So I'm excited about that. So anyway, man, my homeboy, Rob, respect, bro. You already know. Well, Sherrod says low key called you a Mexican. It's a Jamaican. Oh, it's Jamaican, Rod. Jamaican, not Mexican. Okay.
Nah, you got a stereotype wrong on that one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you gonna do it. You gonna get the stereotypes, bro. You gotta go get it right. Come on, genius. I appreciate my bros, man. So anyway, man, I was joking on this dude before he bailed out on us. I guess he didn't like me joking on him. I don't know, man. I'm a put wintergreen to that one. But he like I said, man, he changes his name more than we change phone numbers and draws, man. Last year he was Cornelius Kirk. The year before that he was Mr. Whatever It Takes. Now he is Mr. You Matter. Anyway, man, what's going on, bro? Tell me a little bit about what's going on. Tell the people a little something.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. The name change was as we evolve a little bit, my movement changed a little bit. It went from Whatever It Takes was really just a mindset, and it was really for me when I started it. Changing and shifting and You Matter becomes about others, and in that lane I'll stay. I actually tattooed it on my arm, so that's how I know that this is it. So I'm really excited to chop it up with y'all tonight, and let's get to it.
My man, he low key tried to tell me that I'm not evolving. I appreciate that. You stuck the sneakness. I heard the sneakness. Tone is everything. So yeah, I heard it was like a jab too, like So anyway, man, I always appreciate it. JC, man. Did you have anything else, man? You wanted to chop it up about or something on your heart, man? They were joking on you earlier about your Christian meet mingle photo. I didn't know if you wanted to take out. I'm not gonna do you like that. So, brother, I didn't know if you wanted to get it in. I didn't know, man.
Nah, man, I love my dog, man. Love my dog. And, me and my dog get some quality time this weekend. No matter what y'all say.
You had something else?
Nah, man, like I say, a lot of things happened. We talked to a number of interesting people over the course of the last week. A number of those stories have been on my heart. I had a chance to actually go downtown and see the removal of the Confederate monument statue, smack dab in downtown Raleigh off of Hillsborough Street. Right after the conversation, I had to see it for myself. And so, it's part of the conversation that we really tackled as far as police brutality and where we've seen this movement go from statues being removed across the country, flags being changed, and all sorts of other things that are happening to give me a little bit more hope that we're moving towards the right place. I figure we jump back into that and see how we all were processing some of these events.
Yeah, man. I don't know about y'all, man, but I'm gonna speak last on this one, man. I got mixed emotions about that, man. I think me and you chopped it up a little bit about that, JC, man. But I want to hear what the fellas got to say. So I'm gonna start with you, man, Mr. I forgot my t-shirt. Oh, excuse me, Mr. I am. What you got to say about that?
I gotta feel like I'm glad they're doing the change, and I'm glad a lot of things are happening. We want to make sure we stay consistent on what we're doing, not just be like a one-time thing, but keep on going. Like a lot of times we do stuff, man, just for that instant, for that moment, not for the long run or the longevity, as we said. So just as doing this, man, we keep this up, keep this our voice being heard, keep what we're doing, keep it growing, and just hopefully, man, it's a good thing. That things are now changing. It took a long time, but No, I think change comes over time, and as we continue to grow and make change, more stuff will happen as well in our favor.
Hey, that's a good one, man. Your homeboy Rose said shots fired at Mike DMS.
You know what? Speaking of shots fired.
Hey man, I mean we bros though, man. Like we love each other, man.
I mean, shots fired, man. I get it. But I will say, in the last couple of weeks, I have actually got my gun permit too.
Okay.
It just got real. It just got real. My bad. It just got real.
I went into my concealed carry class. That I'm doing what a lot of brothers these days are doing.
Let's go.
And
he's dangerous.
Ready to stay ready.
JC,
hey man, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta be ready. What you say, Kurt?
So JC, he's strapped now, huh? You remember on Men's Society said you strapped? He said, you know it.
You know it.
You know it.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
Hey, your boy Rose say bang bang. Hey man, I'm right there with you, bro. I am a show enough Georgia boy, and I certainly agree with my Second Amendment. Right? So anyway, man, you should definitely protect yourself. Wife and 3 kids, working on another one. I'm a chief priest, protector, and provider of my home. So if it's between me and you, guess what? You gotta go. So with that being said. What you got, Kirk? What you think about that, man?
About the gun or about the person?
If you want to tap on that, but JC was talking about, the Confederate monuments, the flags being changed, this symbolism of quote unquote, for lack of better words, hope, man. What's your thoughts on that?
So I'm never one to step on progress. So and Troy, you talk about this a lot, celebrating progress. So I'm in the background, man. I'm celebrating, very, very happy for the change. However, I come from a corporate background, and I know how these kinds of things move. I know what's behind the scenes. So as I'm celebrating, I'm still, like JC said, very hopeful that it's done for the right reasons. And then we don't pacify it with these small wins, and we know that it's much bigger than this. And we keep pushing, like I am said, we keep pushing, man, because this is only a part. The flags and all those, painting the ground and putting up murals and all that stuff. That's great, but that doesn't erase everything that is going on behind the scenes, especially when we talk about the dollar, the mighty dollar, and we don't talk enough about the real language is not race, it's power and money. So let's get it right, baby. Like if we really want lasting change, what I'm thankful for though is to see so many people come together, because that's when things do change. However, the real change comes when you take care of the money, because that's what they're after. So, anyways, yeah, man, I'm hopeful, like JC said, that everything continues to push forward.
Yeah, man. So I guess I got to answer the question too, huh?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. Hold on, I'm changing your name. I'm making fun of everybody today. You're gonna be Mr. You Matter, but we're gonna have to put Mr. Kingdom Moves in there too, man. You know how to change it, JC?
I'll knock you out in a second.
You know he do.
He know he do, right? So
his computer, his TV, his refrigerator has a TV in it. You know he
knows. Everything on the watch. Over there, man. I'm telling you,
I come to his house. He in California. He opened in the garage. Come on, man. That's my idol right there.
Hey, he always got to text me and remind me. Oh, just go by the creamer, man. I can open the door. We know, bro. We know.
Well, before you go, another thing that happened to me, I had my first B&B guest this weekend. And it's a brother that I know, drove from Kent, Ohio to Wilmington. And I was like, dude, just stop. Don't drive that far, all in one setting. You just stop. And I forgot to turn off my security system.
Oh.
And he doesn't get to my spot until like 12:30 in the morning, and I'm passed out. And security, they called me. They called my sister. He called me like 3 or 4 times. Cops show up at the house, and I'm just thankful that this brother actually signed up on B&B and didn't just crash at my house, because he had the garage door code. He got in. He was able to talk his way smoothly with the cops. They called off the dogs with the security system. And, you know, because that could have been a bad moment for everybody involved, you know. And so that was another way God showed me, you know what, you know, I'm still with you and I'm still with your people. But, you know, that was another thing that I forgot that happened this weekend, where I learned a lot from that moment that's going to hopefully make things smoother going forward.
Oh, man. Oh, he done banked out us on again. We got to jump on again. There you go. All this spotty Wi-Fi. Lord have mercy. Come on. Anyway, man, I know you had asked a question, JC, and, you know, one, you're absolutely right. I know we had talked about this, but yeah, that definitely could have went another way, man. So, you know, I was once told that God looks out for babies and fools, and I was once called, my nickname at one time was Big Baby, and I've known to be a little bit foolish at times. So I think I have it out. But there he is, Mr. You Matter. We're gonna call you Mr. Spotty Wi-Fi, man. What's going on, brother?
Laptop, man.
We're gonna call you Mr. No Wi-Fi. But when we talk about these symbols, man, I'm right there with you, Kirk. Just so you know, man, a wise man once told me to celebrate progress, and that's where I got that saying from. He was actually a great father figure to me in the form of Bishop Ralph Donnie Graves, and that was one of the things that he would always teach us, to celebrate progress. You know, whatever that progress is. So I'm right there with you, and that's why you guys hear me say that all the time. Because it's written on my heart and it's always stayed with me. So I'm right there with you. I do celebrate progress, but me and you, Jay, have talked about this, man. Those are superficial symbols that, in most cases, from in my opinion, those that are in Generation X, Z, millennials, they look at it differently but those that are baby boomers can my mom and my mom's mom can remember when those things were a symbol of oppression. For some, it was a symbol of victory, but for our people, it was a symbol of oppression. So yes, it's good to see that it's a step in the right direction, but it's just a step. And there's many more steps that have to be had. So with that being said, that doesn't stop the knee on the neck. That doesn't stop the accountability, the policy, the procedures, from the head all the way down, in the effort to, I dare to say, promote some type of fairness, some type of equity, some type of equality, and not just from a law perspective, but a finance perspective. You know, I'm still waiting on the. You're on mute, Kurt, but I'm still waiting on the 40 acres and the mule, and that may never happen. So it's really up to us, because clearly what we were chumped off with was $1,200 and called it a stimulus check, and really the whole goal was for us to put that back into the economy. So anyway, again, Jay, I know we talked about this, man. I'm appreciative of the symbolism, right? Mm-hmm. Because out of sight, out of mind, you know, painting Black Lives Matter on the street, yeah, that's dope, that's cool. But how can we not just be okay with that? How can we get past the surface, you know, and the pacification to say that that's great, you know, hey, just like us getting a Black president, I appreciate that, but that's not where it stops. I don't think we should stop in thinking that that's just okay. So I'm encouraged in some of the conversations that we heard last week from some young people, from some men and some women that really are looking forward to continue to use their collective voice to push the agenda. So I'm a back up now, Jay. What else you got, man? You didn't. Hold on. Rose got something to say. Rose says, have to find a way to the heart of man. And we talked about that, man. Nothing truly changes until then. Progress for sure, but no real progression, if that makes sense. It does make sense, bro. You know, so man thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. What bleeds on the inside, or excuse me, what believes on the inside bleeds on the outside. So if you're full of hate, then that's what spews out your mouth. That's what spews in your actions. So I'm right there with you, bro. But is that Mr. Forgot his t-shirt? Are you over there with the car banging too, man? Come on, man. But Jay, man, I'm anxious to hear your thoughts too, brother.
I mean, I look at a lot of companies, really across this nation. If they haven't already, you know, they put out messages, you know, stating how they're down with the cause. They're going through diversity and inclusion efforts kind of globally. And they're forcing the conversations in ways that, frankly, they haven't done so in the past. I'm encouraged to see what that turns into from the corporate movement. I'm also encouraged to see what happens from this election season, because it's going to be a doozy if things progress the way I see it, as far as the polls being or the polling places being closed, people needing to mail in things, we're demonizing mail-in voting, and there's another larger wave because we're still in the midst of, I think, the first, because we didn't take the right steps. I think it might have an impact on people feeling comfortable standing in long lines, bearing the heat. But nevertheless, I see us moving in a positive direction. There's a lot of attention. There's a lot of activism. And I feel like companies are drinking the Kool-Aid more than they've ever done so before, to where in the next 2 to 3 months, perhaps we'll see more Black CEOs, more Black executives, more promotions, more people entering different segments of companies that wouldn't have even thought to be a part of that in the past. So I think it's going to work out, to the negative or the positive, depending on your perspective. It's also encouraging a number of individuals to look more into their rights, whether that be Second Amendment rights, First Amendment rights, in terms of the power of their voice, the power of, getting armed and protecting your household in the event that it further escalates. And so we'll see what happens.
I think it's definitely going to be interesting. We're going to have to definitely continue to keep the pressure, man. At the end of the day, consistency is key, man. Mm-hmm. So again, I think that's good. What you guys think, man? I think it's about time to see if we can get the audience engaged, bro. Let's do a trivia. What do you think about that?
It's about that time.
Yes, sir. All right, man. So this segment right here is called "Say It Loud." I'm black and I'm proud. So with this segment here, man, we need the audience to engage. We're gonna ask a trivia question. You know the answer to the trivia question? Put it in the comment. The first 3 people, Trace, uno, dos, tres. The first 3 people that get the answer right in the comment section will win that free meal to our sponsor, City Barbecue, baby. You're gonna have a City sampler. The City sampler has brisket, pulled pork, sausage, turkey, and 2 sides. If that's not enough, you also get some thick Texas toast with a butter on it too, man. You got to eliminate with that thing. So please, right now, like and share this post. Like and share. That right thumb, bam, like and share this post. Make sure when you share the post that you use the hashtag, the Bro Code Show, right there on the bottom of the screen. Hashtag the Bro Code Show. So, all right, fellas, y'all can't answer this one, man. So we're gonna leave it up to the viewers to answer this one. So, say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Trivia question is: what popular Black magazine has a full-page feature called The Beauty of the Week? What popular Black magazine has a full-page feature? Lord have mercy. It's called The Beauty of the Week. So we're going to give you a few moments to answer that one. See if anybody answers. Uh-oh, what we got here? Alexis, you always answer it, Alexis. What up, Alexis? What we got here? Oh, Danielle. Sherrod, you know you a millennial. Look what this clown wrote. Hold on. We gonna make you a meme. This clown wrote. Hey, man. We know that you are a millennial. You don't know nothing about that, man. But yes, Danielle, Rob, you were so excited about it. You must still got some of them on the wall. You put heat. You got to correct it eventually. Oh, heck, I don't know what that is. You went dyslexic on me. I don't know what that is. But, yes, you're absolutely right. Rob, you got it right, though, Rob. You fixed it for me. Jet, Danielle, you got it. Jet. Finally you got it, Rob. I guess you saw the right answer. It was like, oh, yeah, my bad. I forgot. I don't know what Kirk doing, man. We about to turn him into a meme. And we got to get you off the screen, bro. Yes, sir, Rob, you got it, man. It is the Jet magazine. Hey, man, we got to talk about that. I don't know about y'all, man. But, oh, there he is. He's back again. Mr. No Wi-Fi. No Wi-Fi. No Wi-Fi.
Oh, man.
Look, man, I know you are old downtown over there at the HQ, but you got to find another room or something, man. Like, we need to call corporate HQ and talk about their Wi-Fi feed, because I want to know why we can't keep you consistent on this here thing.
It's not the Wi-Fi. It's my it's my computer, man. It's not the Wi-Fi.
Okay, I got it.
I don't want to jam them up like that and have them losing business.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, we love HQ. They gonna sponsor us too. We're gonna speak that into existence. So we love HQ, man. Love y'all out there, man. Headquarters on deck. Fight the power. So with that being said, we appreciate y'all. You're right, man. The Jet magazine, we're going to talk about this, though, because I don't know about y'all, man, but as a 10-year-old kid, I had a collage. Like, I would look forward to the Jet magazine coming out because I knew there was going to be some beautiful black women in some type of bikini, some type of one-piece, two-piece, and at 10 years old, that and the Victoria's Secret magazine was like my first nudie magazine. I was just excited, man. Do y'all recall that, man? How did y'all feel about it?
I enjoyed learning about the educational pursuits.
Oh, Lord. We're going to take him off right now. He's out of there. He's out of there. Who's next?
I know for me, man, I look forward to them. My dad used to get them all the time. I said, right to that page. They going to pay 24, I think, every time.
Hey Rob, I knew Rob said he had the measurements too. Like he said he was joking on you, talking about the hobbies too. Like you were really excited about their artwork. How about you, man? You remember that, Mr. You Mad? You remember that, bro?
Oh, absolutely. It was a small book too, so you can hide that one.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. But I'll be honest with you, man. It was the picture of the week. I remember that too, man. And I'm 14, man. That beauty of the week. It was almost like I was so good at it, I could flip right to the page. I didn't even have to look. I just knew that it was like right there, boom. There was my thumb. I knew where it was at. And then right before that was the picture of the week. And the picture of the week was always dope, man. I got to give a shout out because the first issue of Jet magazine, it was published November the 1st of 1951. You know, I was a Johnson boy. And there was a dude by the name of John Johnson. No, he's no relationship, but if y'all need to adopt somebody, holler at the boy. But that was in Chi-Town, Illinois, man. Johnson called the book, I always wondered, and I didn't know this, he called it Jet because he wanted the name to symbolize black and speed. I was like, wow. So I was always wondering, like, where did this whole Jet magazine theory come from, man? In the first issue, Johnson wrote, in the world today, everybody is moving along at a faster pace. Now, he was saying that in 1951. So could you even imagine if this was reintroduced? I mean, it's not published anymore. In 2014, they stopped doing the tangible. It's just digital. So no more little short book that you can hide. You know, the kids, just everything is digital now. So, but there was always good news in that and happenings about what was going on in our culture as it pertains to entertainment, politics, sports, social events, as well as features on unusual personalities, places, and events. There was this dude named Red Fox, man. He called it the Negro Bible. So, and in most cases, man, it really was. It fit right in your pocket. But Kurt, I think you up next, bro. What you got going on, man? Hopefully you won't bonk out on us, man. You got a good spot now?
I think so, man. But don't. Hey, listen, I'm here. It's my fault, man. I didn't charge my iPad, so it's my fault.
Okay, we're gonna blame it on that.
So we were talking about protect the neck through this whole series, and a couple of the things that really stood out to me, and we'll go around the room and talk about it. But as a whole, we talked mostly about racism and kind of what that means to our society and how we need to change it. So that was the first topic we really talked about. And we chopped it up a little bit about the talk, which all of us had different versions of the talk in our homes. And all of us are about the same age too. So that, close. I think I'm the oldest in the room. So don't remember that. I'm the oldest in the room. So, and then we talked about Black Lives Matter. Wednesday, I wasn't on I wasn't on Wednesday, but I saw some of it. You know, there was some cool stuff that went on Wednesday. But let's back up a little bit and let's talk about racism. JC, let me start with you, sir. That topic. When you hear that word, what do you think of?
Oh man, you know, I think about a number of things. You know, it takes me back to when I was young, and you know, I didn't really experience direct forms of racism really until I moved down south. For those that don't know, I'm from Jersey, East Orange, Newark area, and you know, I had a collection of friends that looked like me. You know, a few Italians and Puerto Ricans, and it was a different vibe. You know, I never really felt as if people that didn't look like me hated me for any particular reason, just based on the color of my skin. You know, however, I moved down south the second half of my sophomore year of high school, and within the first year, I recall working at a Harris Teeter and having a red truck with Confederate flags, taped to the side, a flag in the back. You know, these guys threw a Coke can at me as I'm pushing carts at my job to bring it back inside, and screamed out the N-word. You know, they said nigga, nigga, nigga multiple times in a span of 30 seconds before they peeled on out of there. And from that moment, you know, I haven't really gotten anything that egregious, but you know, I experienced it from the corporate space to where I'll be in rooms to where there are plenty of talented individuals that their names get bypassed, or you know, people don't want to interview them because their name ends in an equal, and they think that they're not necessarily going to be worth their time, let alone the role. And so these days, I like to think that most people have a positive mind and spirit, but I'm still kind of keeping my distance to a certain extent, thinking, you know, how do you really feel? You know, and I'll do things in some cases purposely to challenge conversations because of it. You know, for example, I rocked a Black Wall Street shirt with a Black Panther mask all day yesterday. The 4th of July, that's a whole different vibe, but I wanted to make sure people recognize that, you know, a lot of things happen and a lot of things are still happening. But I was encouraged. People can say, you know, I love that show. I love that movie. Tell me more about Black Wall Street. What does it mean? And so I know it's out there, but I tend to still keep that hopeful heart, thinking that people are more approachable these days than they may have ever been in terms of having those difficult conversations about that topic.
Well said, man. I appreciate that. You know, I think one of the biggest things that we struggle with as a culture is we can't ask for what we are worth if we don't know what it is. And so something you just mentioned about the history and even some of the things that I've learned in the last 6 months that I didn't know that made me stand a little bit taller. So those will be some of the conversations I'm sure, Troy, that we'll jump into when we get back to dealing with kids one-on-one in the building. The second topic I want to talk about, and I'm going to you on this one, Troy, is the talk. So I kind of remember what you talked about in your home, but what was your version of that, and how did that show up in your life, even today, in the work you do?
Oh man, that's a good question, bro. You know, just if I can recap what was talked about collectively from every perspective, as well as add into my own. There's a few words that really stood out to me. One was accountability. Accountability as an adult for understanding and recognizing my own phobias, isms, and bias, my own stereotypes, because we all have them. I mean, we can sit there and say that we don't, but there's the subtleties. But I think as an adult, especially as a responsible adult, especially for those that have children, and we all love our children, I think it's really important that we address our own and then recognize them, so that way we don't pass them on, right? One of the things we talked about is hate being taught. And even in the house, you know, to this day, man, sometimes my attitude will get the best of me, and my wife will be like, hey, you know, don't, you may not want to say that like that, because we've got 6 ears listening. And we have a saying. I'm not going to say that one because we use that one in public. But anyway, moving right along. With that being said, it's important, you know, that we hold ourselves accountable as adults. If you look at yourself as a responsible adult, recognize in self first, so that way it doesn't pass on to our children. And I try to live that as much as possible. The second word, I think the first word was accountability. Second word, and you know we say this all the time, brother. That's going to be your new AKA, even though you're not going to switch it. Is Mr. Consistent, because consistency is key, man. And whether right, wrong, or different, good, bad, or ugly, we are what we eat. We are what we believe. We are all of those things. The power is in the tongue. So the things that we speak shape our reality. So I think what's worked well with me, and some of the things that I remember from the conversation last week, is creating a safe space. You know, setting the tone for having those uncomfortable, if you may, conversations with our children, and doing it from a non-judgmental place. You know, not trying to destroy how they feel, but receive it. I think it was you, JC, that put me on to the rasa, right? Receive, acknowledge, summarize, and ask questions, right? Mm-hmm. And really taking that approach, not just with our kids, but even the conversations that we have in the street. Yo, since the conversation, man, I've had 4 or 5 meetings with our white allies. I think that's the new buzzword now, right? They can't just be friends. But anyway, I digress. With that being said, and really just it's almost having to explain, and that conversation does get a little cumbersome and a little tainted, a little boring sometimes. But if I have to be the person, and that's the cross that I have to bear to connect that bridge, then so be it. You know, I'd much rather you hear it from a trusted voice than in Siri, Alexa, or Google Home. So with that being said, and last but not least, man, we were charged last week, man, and I want to put this on a T-shirt. Shout out to homeboy Greer Webb, man, UNC Chapel Hill. We still Wolfpack all day, but you know, you said something positive, so we're gonna keep it pushing. But with that being said, he said, man, do you, but do something. Yeah. You know, do you, but do something. So whether your voice is in privilege, in policy, or in politics, do something. You know, don't just talk about it, do something. So all of us weren't meant to stand outside. All of us aren't built out to stand outside with a sign and march and scream. But that doesn't mean we can't do anything. All of us weren't built to write letters to Congress. That doesn't mean you can't do anything. All of us may not have the black card, but you do have white privilege, or whatever that form of privilege is. So use that voice, use that opportunity if you believe to do what we say. Love always wins. Shout out to Roe. And then last but not least, the power of the collective voice. All of those things together make what we talk about all the time, fellas, a fist, not a finger, right? We can do a little bit by ourselves, right? We can make progress by ourselves, but this is the power. This is the knockout power. And this is when people listen. And that's where, you know, hey, you can't help but to move. And I think that's the reason why those symbols of progress that we talked about earlier in this conversation have happened, because of that collective voice, man. So we're all important in fighting this war against racism, and realize that's exactly what it is. So let's keep fighting.
So last but not least, we're going to jump into Mr. I Am with, we talked a little bit about Black Lives Matter. And, you know, at the news and the media right now, we're hearing a lot of yes and no to, is it from a standpoint, is it effective? So we know that everybody's saying it. We see it on shirts. People are donating to it. But at the end of the day, is it successful, or is it being watered down? So I would love to know your thoughts, Mr. I Am. How you feel on that?
Yes, sir. Man, how I feel on that, man? I like the guy said last week, I think with Genesis. He was like, no. When I talked to him about the DC thing with the Black Lives Matter by the White House. He was like, the graphics is good, but are we doing something, man, with what it says? You know what I'm saying? Easy to put something down there. I'll put have on a shirt, say it, put on social media, man. But are we standing by it? Are we actually, man, really doing what it says? Are really agreeing with it? Are really acted upon what it says? Black Lives Matter. So this is the fact of saying it and doing two different things. Like we got an 8 time. It says a lot of us do stuff for the commitment, for convenience, but most of us do it for the commitment. So the question is now: are you doing it for the convenience because it sounds right? Or are you doing it for the commitment because you want to keep this movement going? So I feel like with saying Black Lives Matter, doing it for the commitment to keep things going is better just because it look like on a T-shirt or we saying it on social media or we send the news. Do it for the long run. And so it can continue to be heard and continue to be noticed. Like Dr. Martin Luther King, the way he did. I remember he did a riot for 365 days. Like each day they kept on going. They didn't ride the bus. They didn't go to the mall. They did Black-owned businesses. So as not just said it, they did it. So the simple fact of not just saying it and having it and wearing it, they're actually doing it. So it's a good thing, definitely, man, to have Black Lives Matter, man. But make a commitment to keep on going so we can make it happen for the long run.
I would totally agree with that. I'm encouraged though, and Troy, you brought up Greer, and I'm encouraged to see that the young people in that generation are that in tune and intentional and focused on the situation. So I do believe, man, that and I don't think it's just going to be Black people that push the narrative. I saw everybody out there, man. I saw it, and it was I watched, man, from the side. I really watched, and it felt genuine to me. And I'm a pretty good reader of people, man. So a lot of it felt genuine. I'm not gonna say everybody was, but it seemed that way. So I'm encouraged by that. The last thing I want to ask is on each person on here to describe yourself, and you get 3 words. We're gonna start, Mr. I Am. You just finished, but we're gonna start right back with you.
I say 3 words to describe Mr. I Am is persistent, perseverant, and a chaser.
Okay, I got you. And congratulations, man. I saw your book. I see your work. I see you pushing, man. So
yes, sir. Keep moving.
Appreciate it, man. Trying to make an impact in this world, man. Trying to make people see what it's about, man.
One person at a time, man. So
yes, sir.
Congratulations. JC, yes, 3 words, baby. What you got?
I'm gonna go with philanthropic, hustler. And I'd say my last one will be a trial. I'm a curious at heart. I'm willing to try anything once. So those would be my 3 at this present moment in life.
Okay, I'm gonna add one. You're a thinker, man. I always appreciate. And Troy knows. Troy noticed. He knows. Like we be talking about something. JC, like, wait a minute, y'all might have missed something. So I really appreciate you, Troy. You see all the edges of everything, man. So that's pretty cool. I appreciate it. Exactly. Troy, what you got? Can you do it in 3 words, man?
Man, that's man. You know I was gonna be different. You know, hey, anybody was gonna be a rebel. It was gonna be me.
Wait, Troy. And I'm sorry, man. I want to tell you before you go. JC, you know this. I cannot believe. I think it's been about 2 weeks since I heard you talk about your weight. So go ahead. Come on, man.
Don't get me started. Jay about to get mad. He's like, oh hell.
He said, I was 475, right? Oh, man.
Hey, look at JC looking at it. I've always said, man, one of my sayings has always been, and nothing beats a failure but a try, man. I heard that earlier on in my early 20s. I used to run a sales business, and the same energy that you see me now, even at 475, I had it then. And we used to run motivational meetings every morning, and that used to be the saying that I would push into the people that were working with us. Nothing beats a failure but a try. But understand that failure is a part of progression. So keep progressing, right? Celebrate progress. So to hear you say a trier, man, you brought me back to that because that's absolutely true. Yeah, I mean, you brought me back to that though. But anyway, my 3, man: 1, bold. 2, relentless. And 3, king. I truly believe, and you always hear this all the time. I say things like my grandma said. She played a huge role in shaping me and who I am today. So whether it's to the kids or whether we chopping it up, talking about life, man, y'all always hear me say, man, my grandma used to always say, or my grandfather said, because he 100. You know, he turned 100 in February, so I can still talk to him. But with that being said, being bold, man, the point was it's a poor frog can't praise his own pond. My grandmother used to always say that, and the words that you speak about yourself have a way of shaping who you are. Right? Bold, there it is. You already know, man. Be bold, man. Walk in that thing heavy. Be bold, man. So anyway, real quick, man, I appreciate that, fellas. We want to make sure that we give an opportunity for us to really dig into the conversation. Mr. Mr. I forgot my shirt, Mr. I'm in the car and didn't listen today, but we still want to give you an opportunity to speak. I'm curious, man, like you're in this mode of Mr. I Am. At one time it was Mr. Motivation, but now you've transitioned, changing your name like we do phone numbers and draws, and now you are Mr. I Am. One of the things that we use, fellas, is our I am statement. So I'm wondering, man, how did that transition happen for you? Where was your mindset at? Why did you change that? I want you to lead the people with a motivational moment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was Mr. Motivation last year, and I was about transforming, inspiring change, transforming lives. But as I got, like Kurt said, as I progressed, kept on going, I came Mr. I Am because I thought about my identity I had with keratoconus. At the age of 6, I was diagnosed with keratoconus, and a lot of people might not know what it is, but keratoconus is an eye disease that's where your eye is pupil, but my oval is bulging out, causing my vision to be blurry. And from the age of 6 to 38, I dealt with struggles in childhood, situations being bullied, being talked about. There's so much happened, even with healthiness, man, with survival 2 strokes, and then having been a diabetic, man. I just came I Am because in the midst of I was bold. I was smart, I was confident, I was determined. Most important, I was enough. So as I began to think about that my life, what I've been through, I made myself I Am. I was all those. I'm a survivor. Through all that happened. A lot of people don't survive 2 strokes. A lot of people don't survive being diabetic. A lot of people are legally blind for having keratoconus, right? But I am still here. So I allowed that word to build confidence, self-esteem, not only myself but the others. That they also somebody, you're also great, you're also successful, you're also determined. Most important, no matter what you go through, you are enough. So if I can leave you anything, just don't let what it look like, don't let what it feel like, but tell me what it look like. And what I say by that, always go no matter what. Life happens, we go through different things, different challenges, and things may happen, car may break down. We may not get our child things, but don't give up. Continue to go because the manifestation will take place. I can say that because what I've been through, having 7 eye surgeries, up until now, my vision is not better, but it's stable. But I kept going. I didn't give up. Y'all went into depression for a minute. Y'all had anxiety. Y'all cried to my wife, but I didn't give up. I allowed myself to keep on going no matter what. How to fix the fact that, first of all, I had a disease, but then how can I use the attitudes to impact others, to show people that if I can go through, you can go through as well. If I can survive 2 strokes, you can survive 2 strokes as well. And that's what I did. So just I can tell you anything, man. Keep going. Allow what you go through to manifest now, so it can impact others later on. The struggle is here, not for the worse to be better. So as you endure the pain, life will come through and it will happen. So continue, man, to strive to be great. Know who you are, because you are somebody. I tell anybody, when your mind matches your destiny, I promise you, anything is possible.
Man, see, so he wants to drop that on us before we go. So I feel bad about making fun of him because he had 2 strokes and several eye surgeries. That's how he gonna do us, fellas. So I'm still gonna joke on you, man. But no, we love you, man, and you're absolutely right, man. The things that we go through now. But I wanted to shout out the audience real quick, man. Danielle had to joke on me. She said I used more than 3 words. And had to skip King in, knowing that that's the 4th word. I still love you, Danielle, and I'm still gonna do something nice for you because the spirit has hit my heart as it pertains to the trivia question, and you are always a supporter. So, Danielle, I want you to know that this city barbecue, city sampler with the pork and all that and the pig guts and all that good stuff is going to you. And not only are we going to get it to you, I'm going to deliver it to you and Darnell personally. So I want you to text me and let me know when you want your meal, and I'll bring that to you. You ain't even got to go get it. Not unless they'll let you order it online and bring it to you, but we'll talk about that. So other than that, man, we appreciate y'all, man. We love y'all. Real quick, Kurt, man, we talked about a lot, bro. I need you to take us home in 90 seconds or less, and then if JC, if you got some final thoughts, you'll follow up.
So I'm gonna start with the bro code, because we haven't talked about that much. But you know, being surrounded, man, it feels good personally. Doing this work, being surrounded with people, with men that I trust, and a couple of women. I don't want to leave Shab out because she's gonna be texting me in 2 seconds.
You
but
said
it really,
it.
it really do take, and I can't leave out Rob, Gents Life. You know, you see, he put a video up last week, man. I just want to mention it. I don't know where he was, but he was talking. He was doing a soundbite, but it was his creativity continues to get better. Genius, you can't leave out Genius. You know, his comedy and just his heart. So, you know, it's really amazing to be surrounded with a village like this for the work we do. To the point that when we're together, we can finish each other's sentences and things like that. But to segue into all the conversations that we had, at the end of the day, I still believe that God has us. I believe that faith and love, and Rob mentioned it earlier, you can't fight hate with hate. All of these things we talk about, I've seen people do it, where I don't understand how you can't know that if someone hates you, you can't hate them back. That's not the formula. The formula is they hate you, you increase your love. And it doesn't mean you're weak. It actually means you're strong, because a strong man only can do that, not a weak one. So it's very important that these are the conversations that we have with the young men when it comes to law enforcement, which is a whole nother topic that we need to get back into. But I'm just really happy, man, thankful to be a part of the Bro Code. I'm thankful of the topics, the guests that we've brought on so far, with I'm assuming better and higher and more coming, not better, but just different ones coming. And so I'm excited. Yeah, I don't want to say better because I'll be getting texts from people. Which means better.
Edit that part right now.
Let me take that out. Not better, different.
Absolutely, man. So as we wind down, as always, remember, Danielle will get that to you. Again, shout out to our sponsors, City Barbecue. This one's on me. You can get that at Cary, Durham, Garner, or Raleigh. So again, shout out to City Barbecue, man. We're going to make sure that, Danielle, you get that meal. Text me a little bit later on. So with that being said, man, let's talk about what's going to go on next Sunday, fellas, because this one right here was all about us. We got a chance to chuckle a little bit, joke a little bit, you know, get a couple of our bros that are maybe not have been here in physically, but definitely in spirit and up on the line. So really quickly, I want Pamela Moore. That's a friend of yours. Is that right, JC?
Oh, that's my lovely sister.
Oh, your sister says, man, I'm loving the work that you all are doing. Shout out, Miss Pamela Moore. We love y'all. Any sister of JC is a sister of ours. Of course, Rob says, appreciate you, family, bro. You know we love you, man. Uh-oh, he hit us with that up top. So, Danielle, man, you're more than welcome. Danielle said, thank you. Hey, thank you, man. We appreciate you and Darnell for letting us pour into his life, man. We look forward to shouting him out next week. That's definitely good eating. You are absolutely right. So with that being said, I want to talk about next week, fellas. Next week, we're going to be doing our subject matter called Do Mentors Matter? Do mentors matter? Now, clearly, that is a rhetorical question because it does. But I want to share with y'all, if I could get this together, the flyer for next week. So next week, we will have Do Mentors Matter? We'll have the Richard Thrash Jr. as well as Miss Olivia Newton. Now, that's going to be next week, next Sunday at 6 p.m., same bat time, same bat channel. So with that being said, man, I wanted to tell a little bit about our guest for next week, and just a small portion. I know they sent me quite lengthy, but Miss Olivia Newton received the Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice and a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science pre-law from the North Carolina Central University. Go Eagles. Went on to receive a Master of Arts in Clinical Counseling from the University of Carolina, Pembroke. Has over 18 years of experience in mental health has also worked with youth, families, and adults in the community and even in the clinical settings. She's a licensed clinical mental health counselor and approved qualified counselor supervisor in North Carolina. She holds certifications in trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy and functional family therapy. She is also the executive director of AMI Kids North Carolina Family Services and has been teaching as a professor at Central Carolina Community College in the Justice Studies Department for the past 8 years. Her greatest belief, she says, with confidence in the right support system, a second chance, with confidence, the right support system, and a second chance, anyone can fulfill their destiny. We also will have Mr. Robert Thrash. Now, Robert Thrash, he also is a mental health counselor and a licensed clinical addiction specialist. He's also associate with Sigma Health Services, and he serves teens and adults through a substance abuse intensive outpatient program called SAOP for short. He's also in the community, man. You can find this guy at Alternative School Connections Academy. Me and Kirk served there. Shout out to Principal Roberts and Assistant Principal Lassiter over there, Buck Jones and Carey. And also serves the students as a behavioral support specialist through Wake County Public School System. He's currently working on a new venture called It Takes a Village, and he aims to strengthen and builds families as a parent advocate. Richard has a master's degree in professional counseling and firmly believes that one should never stop learning because there's always a problem that needs a solution. So we look forward to that next week on the 12th. So next Sunday at 6 p.m. Other than that, please set your alarms, Siri, Alexa, and Google Home for next Sunday at 6 p.m. So thank you to our guests, our viewers, to my brothers, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all are dope. We talked about a lot of things tonight, but I agree with you as well, Kirk, as it pertains to us being able to be a support system for each other, man. We can talk about anything, and there's never no judgment. And that's really what the bro code is all about, man. Bro never leaves his bro behind. And there's never no competition. Like we love to see each other win. Yo, win. Your win is another win for me. That's another leg at the table that we're building for our enemies that will all sit at and eat plentiful. So let's keep eating, bro. For those that already haven't, go to our YouTube page, search YM4C TV. We're going to leave that with you one more time. YM4C TV, man. It's on the bottom of your screen. When you see it, click like, share, as well as hit the subscribe button. So that way, the little bell will be ding, and you'll follow us. So when we go live, you go live too, man. So before we go, man, we always gotta leave you on a positive note. So life is like a camera. Life is like a camera. Focus on what's important. Capture the good times. Develop from the negatives. And if it don't work out, take another shot. It's your boy, Bro Troy. Mr. YM4C. Peace.
Leather in the summer, silk in the winter. This is such an art. Where do I begin? Used to sing tenor in the church choir. Really, I was flexing, but the girls, they were fine. I'm the type of guy that noticed subtle signs. When I cuddle mine, she ain't even trying to look sexy. But even if she was, so what? Motherfucker broke